Hydrogen peroxide is an environmentally adapted chemical and an effective oxidation agent. One of its largest areas of application is as a bleaching agent in the pulp industry. Peroxide is also used for surface treatment in the metal industry, in the cleaning of municipal wastewater, for disinfection, for the bleaching of hair, in the manufacture of detergents, and for chemical analysis. Aseptic filling machines use peroxide to sterilize the packaging material and the part of the machine where filling, forming and sealing takes place. The peroxide is kept in containers that should be changed according to the operation manual. Before production can start, the filling machine is sterilized. Peroxide is mixed with air and sprayed into the aseptic chamber. During production, the packaging material web passes through the peroxide bath in order to sterilize the packaging material before it comes in contact with the product. Peroxide is delivered in drums, which should be labelled according to legislation. A datasheet with a detailed specification of the product must also be included in the delivery. Make a visual inspection to confirm that the drums are undamaged and that they are fitted with a ventilation cap to prevent overpressure. The chemical formula for peroxide is H2O2, and the product is a clear, colourless liquid. It is only used as an aqueous solution and can be mixed with water in all proportions. At low concentrations, peroxide is odour-free, and at higher concentrations it has a somewhat pungent odour. Peroxide itself is not combustible, but it may support combustion by releasing oxygen. If peroxide comes in contact with lubricants, various metals, metallic salts, ammonia, or lye, it can decompose to form water and oxygen. This reaction takes place very quickly, creating great heat and producing oxygen gas. The consequences can be devastating. Peroxide must be protected against every risk of contamination and kept separate from other combustible substances. In this controlled test, we have added lye to demonstrate the consequences of decomposition. The temperature and pressure rise. If this drum had been at a workplace, a serious accident might have occurred. Fire can easily arise if highly concentrated peroxide comes into contact with combustible organic material, for example wood, cotton or leather. Contact with organic material can cause spontaneous ignition within 20 seconds. Even at a low concentration of 10%, peroxide has an irritant effect on the skin. At higher concentrations, it is corrosive. Rinse the skin with plenty of water. Remove and wash contaminated clothing to prevent fire. Be aware that spills of peroxide can take many hours before the effects make themselves known. In general, the more concentrated the peroxide, the more readily it will start a fire. So even if diluted peroxide is spilled on your overalls, do make sure they're well rinsed without delay. It is not recommended to dilute peroxide to attain a lower concentration. The safest way is to always use ready mixed peroxide with the correct concentration. You should, under no circumstances, dilute peroxide with normal tap water, since it may not be pure enough. Even low concentrations of contaminants in the tap water can cause decomposition. Peroxide occurs naturally in the environment in small levels and is not considered to affect plants or microorganisms. Thus, it is not deemed that small discharges of peroxide constitute a danger to waterways, as it quickly decomposes to form water and oxygen. In the event of spillage, never wipe out peroxide with rags or paper, as these may self-ignite several hours after contact. Instead, rinse with plenty of water. Peroxide, immediately use an emergency shower. Remove and wash the clothing to prevent fire. A fire involving peroxide progresses violently. It is not possible to smother the fire with a blanket or use a fire extinguisher containing powder or carbon dioxide. Always use large amounts of water when extinguishing a fire. If your skin is exposed to peroxide, rinse the skin with plenty of water to avoid peroxide's corrosive effect.